Hey everybody, welcome to the Trailblazers podcast, where today Tyler and I are in the beautiful city of Montreal, Canada, recording live for all the fans, including you, Will Robinson, which, Will, we're still waiting for your sub on the pod, so make sure you come in and give us the sub. Everybody else, if you like the videos, like the content, keep hitting the subs. Today we want to keep bringing you guys some good content about the hockey playoffs that are happening this year, so specifically, we're at the point now it's going to the Stanley Cup Finals, and we know that's going to be Tampa Bay against the Colorado Avalanche. So we really just want to give you guys a preview for that, what you can expect. Game 1 is going to be in Colorado on Wednesday, and I'll let Tyler start off with the intro on this series, and maybe also we can kind of do a little quick recap of some of the action from last night, which was the Rangers and the Tampa Game 6 too.
Yeah, definitely, Dave. So I'm really excited for this series. I think me and Dave were just chatting about it the other day, and we were saying this is like the first finals in a long time where it's like there's not a very defined like favorite. So it's kind of anybody's cup at this point. You don't have a favorite coming out that you think is expected to win the series. So I couldn't tell you who my pick would be. We've got Colorado, a lot of talent, a team that's going to be good for years to come. It seems like. I think they very much look like a younger Tampa Bay almost, which is kind of funny in that respect. And then obviously Tampa Bay, which is shown, every time somebody thinks they're down and out in the playoffs, they come right back and they show why they have that longevity, why they've won 2 cups in a row, and why they're going for 3 right now. So it's looking like it's going to be a really great series. What are your thoughts, Dave, going into the finals here?
Yeah, I have a couple thoughts. Just like Tyler's pointing out too, you were talking about this last night. I can't remember the last year that it was, from probably even like the start of the season. I feel a lot of people were calling like a Tampa Colorado final to happen, and rarely does it ever actually like turn out to be like that. That the way that would be like, oh, it should be like this, and it actually comes out to be like that. So I'm excited for it. I think I'm probably going to try to catch as many games as I can. It's going to be a great time, and I think actually one of the things that I want to point out here is where I think there could be like the difference maker in this series is like Tyler said, Colorado is like a younger version of Tampa Bay. I think the difference maker though is like Colorado maybe doesn't have like that naturally trained goalie in their system that has like come up like Vasilevsky has in Tampa, right? And I don't know if Kemper is like 100% healthy, and they're using their backup goalie in Colorado like against Edmonton in that portion of the series. That could be the difference maker in this final series, right? Because Tampa has a lot of offensive pieces. Colorado has tons of offensive pieces as well. Colorado has great defense. Cale Makar is amazing, right? Like we know, and like Devontae is also playing great with Cale Makar. But where could the series can come down to is like if Tampa plays their game, kind of like mucks up the middle ice, doesn't that give that many chances, sort of like what they did to New York and like what they did to Toronto too in this year's playoffs. It could be like really hard for Colorado to compete in these low scoring games, because sort of similar to like how the Colorado Edmonton series went. There's a lot of goals, but if those goals don't come, then it's more like a defensive shutdown, tight goaltending game. So I think that's like one of the things that I'm going to kind of pay attention to, especially in the first couple of games, is how well are these goalies going to stack up against one another, and as well can Colorado's defense and offense, basically the defense shut down, and Colorado's offense still be able to get more than, like 2 or 3 goals a game. Because, like, obviously Vasilevsky's stats within the playoffs are fantastic every single year. Probably, less than 2 goals against the game. So, any other thoughts, Tyler?
Actually, and then for this series, like, they're very evenly matched but from the mental side of the game, the psychological side, I actually like Tampa Bay's chances with this one for sure, because, it's not super rare for a team to go back-to-back and win Stanley Cups. That does happen. You see that happen with good teams quite often. So they've gone back-to-back, and now they have the chance for the three-peat, and that is really rare. So I feel like actually when you're going for that 3rd Stanley Cup, you might feel a bit more drive, a bit more motivation maybe on that 3rd run than that 2nd run, because it's just like, oh, you're having a chance to really make history and cement your dynasty a little bit more. So I like that mentality from them. They've obviously got a bunch of veteran players that have been there, done that, know what it's like. Colorado's a younger team, so who knows if there's some aspects of the finals that can really kind of throw them off and get inside their head and stuff like that. So there's going to be that aspect of the game as well. Obviously, Colorado, wants to win really bad and everything, so they're going to come out and it's going to be a really good series. But yeah, you were mentioning the goaltending. I think that's going to be a huge the game breaker in this series. Is Vasilevsky going to completely shut the door again and just give like 0 chances to Tampa Bay? His stats are incredible when it matters, right? And so that's kind of like we were mentioning the other podcast is goaltending. You got to be able to make a save when it matters, and we saw that in the Rangers-Tampa game. The other night, Rangers could have held on, or even the last 2 games, it was just floaters that were going in on the Rangers there. So it's just like, those are always tough goals to swallow as a team, so you have to keep an eye on those. So it's going to be like, yes, there's a lot of offensive firepower on both teams here, but it's going to be very much a duel of the goalies, I think, in this final round, and they got to show for every single game. So no, I like it. I like Tampa's chances in this one for sure. We heard that Braden Point is coming back for potentially the finals there. So
I heard he's like not bad. Hey?
Yeah, is he good? Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I heard the guy might be like a decent player.
Yeah, so that could be a huge game changer for sure. I think. It'd be interesting to see getting towards the finals now what they've got for kind of hidden injuries on each team. Every time after the round ends and they disclose all the injuries that are on the team. So that could be happening besides the team. Which star players on both teams are really banged up right now? We saw that with the Oilers. I think they said Draisaitl was playing on like a torn hip flexor or something like that the whole playoffs, and that's why he's moving so slow. Or no, Darnell Nurse was. And then Draisaitl had something else injured and stuff like that. So it'll be interesting to see, like, if you see a player a little slow, not playing good. The playoffs is a grind. If you win the cup, you're basically going to like almost 100 games, right? So it's just like that's a long season in the NHL. And then players on both teams find out about these injuries and they try to take advantage of them a little bit. So we'll have to keep an eye out for that. The goaltending. And just, I think, the mentality of both teams coming in a team that wants to really start to cement their dynasty in Colorado by getting that first cup. And then Tampa Bay that really wants to put the cherry on top with a three-peat here and keep on going. And maybe keep an eye out for Pat Maroon, how hard he's playing in the finals here, because this would be his 4th Stanley Cup in a row. He's already three-peated, going for 4, so that's pretty crazy. I remember I wouldn't have imagined that when he was playing back in Edmonton for sure. I thought his career was coming to an end a little bit there almost, but hats off to him. That's an awesome accomplishment. So, it'll be a fun series to watch. Any other closing thoughts, Dave, on the series?
One other thing, Corey Perry has made it to the Stanley Cup Finals the last 3 years straight, right? Yeah. Dallas, Montreal, and now in Tampa. So shout out to Corey Perry too. Also having himself a nice longevity career.
What a signing that was. He had so many goals this playoffs. They picked like $1 million or something like that. That is a
great playoff player. Yeah. Great playoff player. And like everybody knows it too. Like he did great like in Montreal last year too and during their cup run. So
actually now that you mention it, I'm kind of excited to see maybe if there's any exchanges or see who's more annoying, Perry or Kadri, because they both know how to like get under the other team's skin. They're just like I'm really interested to kind of watch the game within the game. Like Perry the other night, he was like they were mentioning, he was standing right in the crease, like talking to the ref, not getting out of the goalie's way. He does the little dumb things like holds other players' sticks or sprays water at people, and then obviously we know Kadri can get under people's skins. So I feel like little things like that maybe as a fan, or if you're watching on TV, you might not catch as much of it, but it's definitely going on. And it's something to keep an eye out for sure, because that can really affect the whole team's mentality if you get them focusing on one player. So you can guarantee those two guys will be bringing as much of their little antics as they always do to just try to get the other team not focused on the game. And I think that'll bring an interesting aspect to it for sure. So I think in terms of picks, I think I'm having a tough time thinking about which way this is going to go, but I'm going to say Tampa in 7. They're going to three-peat in 7 games. It's going to be a tight series, low-scoring games, and when you look back on it, it's going to be one of the goalies going to get MVP for sure. I could see Vasilevsky get an MVP for just like shutting the door every single game. So that's kind of how I think the series is going to go.
All right, on my side, I'm thinking about this too. I fully expect this series is going to go to 7 games, 6 or 7 games for sure. Like if it ends sooner, I'd be surprised. I don't think it's going to end sooner. Right? These teams are just too well matched. They're both so strong. So hopefully we'll see a couple crazy OT games as well. I'm going to say Colorado in 7. They're going to take in the 7th game at home. Double OT, I don't know. We'll say double OT. It's just going to be like the Fanatics, and like the NHL ratings this year will be like amazing on the on the production and whatnot. So I'm super excited to see what's going to happen. But any final thoughts, Tyler? You think that's where we're going to wrap it up for this one?
Not really. I think we'll wrap it up there. Any way to slice it, it's going to be great, entertaining hockey. We hope you guys get a chance to catch a lot of games, enjoy it. And if you have some picks, drop them down in the comments. Will, send it. Will, what's your pick?
Will, Will, what's your pick? If you're watching, Will, what's your pick? And don't forget the sub, Will. We're waiting for it. But hopefully everybody's doing good, and we're excited for the playoffs. We'll make sure we get some more series videos out as the series progresses. And until then, we hope you guys have a good one and enjoy your weekend.
Peace. Have a good one. See you next time, guys.